In 2002, a woman in Austin, Texas took $500, that's it, 500 bucks, and started a jewelry business out of her spare bedroom with a baby at home. Today, that company is worth over $1 billion, more than 165 stores, over 3,000 employees, and get this, more than 95% of them are women. Her name is Kendra Scott. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. Her first business failed completely, closed its doors after 5 years. So today I'm breaking down 4 lessons from Kendra Scott's playbook that apply directly to your short-term rental business, including the one decision she made that I believe every single Airbnb host needs to copy. That one's coming at the end, and it's the difference between owning a business and your business owning you. Hey friend, if we haven't met yet, I'm Stacey St. John. I own a portfolio of short-term rentals across Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, and Hocking Hills, Ohio. I'm the author of the Co-Host Code, and I help women build profitable short-term rental businesses that create freedom instead of overwhelm. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Because Kendra Scott didn't just build a big company. She built a company that runs without her doing everything while she still owns it. And that's the exact journey I walk women through every day, going from host to operator to CEO. And if that's the kind of business you're building, take a quick second and hit subscribe. I put out new videos every week to help you get there. Okay, lesson number 1. Your first failure isn't your final answer. Before the jewelry, before the $1 billion, Kendra Scott was 19 years old, and she opened a hat shop called The Hat Box. Beautiful, comfortable hats designed for women going through chemotherapy. She even donated a portion of the proceeds to cancer research. Generous mission, heart exactly in the right place. And it was never profitable. After 5 years, she closed it. Now, imagine if she had decided right there, well, I guess I'm not a business person. There would be no Kendra Scott jewelry, no $1 billion brand, no 3,000 jobs. Here's why I'm telling you this. I talk to women all the time who had one rough experience, a property that underperformed, a partnership that went sideways, a first year that did not look like the spreadsheet. And they've quietly decided that failure was a verdict on them. It's not a verdict. It's tuition. Kendra didn't leave the hat box empty-handed. She left it with 5 years of education in retail, in customers, and in what doesn't work. That education got rolled directly into the next thing. And can I be honest? This is exactly why I teach deal analysis the way I do. When you run every potential property through clear criteria, the numbers, the price, the financial returns, a deal that doesn't work stops being an emotional catastrophe and becomes a data point. Data over drama, my friend, every single time. Lesson 2, start scrappy, but start now. Okay, $500, a spare bedroom, and a newborn baby. That's the starting line of a $1 billion company. Not a warehouse, not an investor, not a perfect plan. 500 bucks and a bedroom. And by the way, the growth didn't happen overnight either. In 2010, 8 years in, the company did about 1.7 million in revenue. 3 years later, 24 million. The explosion came after years of unglamorous, scrappy work. So many women I work with are waiting to feel ready, waiting until they have more capital, more confidence, maybe more certainty. And I want to lovingly call that out because ready is not a feeling that shows up before you start. It's a feeling you earn by starting. Your version of the spare bedroom might be starting out as a co-host with 0 properties of your own. It might be one modest listing instead of the dream property. That's not thinking small. That is exactly how $1 billion founders start. The scale comes later. The start has to come first. Lesson number 3, know your customer better than anyone. All right, and this one is where most Airbnb hosts are leaving serious money on the table. If you walk into any Kendra Scott store, every single one has something called a color bar, a station where customers sit down and customize their own jewelry. Pick the stone, pick the setting, and make it theirs. So why does that matter? Because it tells you how Kendra thinks. She's not selling jewelry. She's selling an experience because she understands what her customer actually wants to feel is creative. They want to feel celebrated and they want to feel seen. The product is the vehicle. The feeling is the business. Now, bring that to your short-term rental. Most hosts describe their property, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, hot tub, close to the beach. That's a spec sheet. And that's not why anyone books. This is exactly what I teach with the Iceberg method. The demographics, age, group size, where your guest is from, that's the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the waterline is what actually drives the booking. The mom who needs one weekend where she's not the one in charge of everything. The girlfriend who's been planning this reunion for 2 years. When you host to what's under the water, your listing, your amenities, your reviews, everything changes. Now, I'm curious about you. Drop it in the comments. Who is your target ideal guest, really? Not the demographics. What are they actually coming to your property to feel? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. Lesson 4, build a business that runs without you. Now, this is a big one. And this is the one I told you about in the beginning. In 2021, Kendra Scott did something most founders cannot bring themselves to do. She stepped down as CEO of her own company, the company with her name on the door. She stayed on as executive chairwoman, still the owner, still the visionary, but she handed the day-to-day to someone else. And here's what I love. In 2025, when the business needed her, she stepped back in as the interim CEO. Then in January 2026, she hired a new chief executive, and she moved into the role of chief visionary officer and executive chairwoman. And she is still the majority shareholder. Do you see what that is? That's not stepping away from her business. That's owning it instead of being employed by it. She can step out, step in, and step back because she built systems, teams, and leadership that don't depend on her doing everything. Friend, this is the whole game. This is the difference between a host and a CEO of a business. If your short-term rental only works when you personally answer every message, when you personally inspect after your cleaner, and when you put out every fire yourself, you don't own a business. You own a job with a really demanding boss. You. And I promise this is not just for billion-dollar companies. It starts small. It starts with role clarity, like understanding your cleaner and your inspector are 2 different jobs. It starts with documented standards. So done isn't a feeling, it's a checklist. Every system you build is you buying back a piece of your freedom. Kendra built a company where she gets to be the visionary and the owner. You can build a short-term rental business where you get to be the CEO and, imagine this, actually take a vacation in your own vacation rental. So let's recap Kendra Scott's playbook for your short-term rental business. 1, your first failure is tuition, not a verdict. 2, start Scrappy and start now. $500 and a spare bedroom is a legitimate starting line. 3, know your guest beneath the waterline because the feeling is the business. And 4, build a business that runs without you so you own it instead of it owning you. Here's the thread running through all 4. Kendra Scott didn't build a company alone. She built it with values, with systems, and with a team. 95% of them are women, by the way, the women around her. And you shouldn't be building alone either. And because I want you to actually do something with these lessons, not just nod along, I turned all 4 into a free download. It's called the $1 Billion Host Playbook. It walks you through each lesson with specific action steps you can put to work in your short-term rental business this week. It's completely free, and you'll find the link in the description below. And if this video gave you even one shift in how you're thinking about your short-term rental business, give it a like and hit subscribe, because this channel exists to help you make the move from host to CEO. Now, go build something that would make $1 Billion Kendra proud, and I'll see you in the next video.